Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Planet J. My name is Jay, and today I have a pick a card reading for you. We're going to be looking at who you're meant to be in this lifetime. We'll be analyzing your past life and also looking at your life now. If you're not somebody that is into past lives, then when I talk about that, that could just be like experiences you've had in the past in this current lifetime. But yeah, we're going to be looking at your past circumstances, your personality, and how that'll translate into what you're meant to have this time around, all those life lessons, and how you're supposed to make other people feel, the interactions you're meant to have, and the success you're meant to achieve, all that good stuff. So, if that sounds like something you're interested in, keep watching. We have 4 cards to choose from today. Card number 1 is Plant Yourself Where You Will Bloom. Card number 2 is Find Joy in Ordinary Things. Card number 3 is Inhale Confidence, Exhale Doubt. And card number 4 is It May Not Get Easier, but You Will Get Stronger. So choose your card, choose one card, and I'll see you in your reading. We're going to get started right now with card number 1 because this is going to be a really extensive reading and I don't want to waste no time. All right. If there are any sound issues at any point, just let me know. And we're going to get into the reading now for card number 1. Let me put the timestamp in the chat for card number 1. My name is Jay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay. Spirit, please tie me into card number 1. Plant yourself where you will bloom. Thank you. Hi, card number 1. Welcome to your reading. Card number 1. You chose this Plant Yourself Where You Will Bloom. And today we're going to be looking at your past life. And if you don't believe in past lives, then it could just be like what you've experienced in the past, this lifetime, and what you're meant to have, the lessons you're meant to learn, all that good stuff, and all the success and happiness you're meant to achieve. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, keep watching. So let's look at what you may have experienced in the past life first. And I'll put the card that you chose right here, just so you guys know what group we're on. Plant yourself where you will bloom. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups. Oh. Ace of Cups. What else? The Five of Pentacles. Interesting. And the Tower. Let's clarify these. I'll clarify the Ace of Cups. This is your past life, so let's just look at what the Ace of Cups is about. Clarifying the Ace of Cups, please, for card number 1. Ooh, King of Pentacles. Oh, that's kind of cool. So again, if you don't believe in past lives, then this clarification right here in the beginning of the reading could just be like what you've experienced in this lifetime until now. Or, maybe when you were growing up or when you were younger, it doesn't matter. Clarifying the Five of Pentacles, we have the Tower. Damn, you get the Tower twice. Okay, so I do feel like in your past life, your confidence was heavily impacted by what you experienced in your love life and your family life, your emotional state. Okay, so let's see. Clarifying the Tower. We got the Seven of Pentacles. So a lot of Pentacles energy coming through here. You got 1 cup and then 2 Tower cards clarifying the past. So what we're going to do now is do a bunch of shuffles to look at you in this current lifetime, and we'll compare. Okay, so who are they meant to be in this lifetime? Describe the personality and the circumstances that card number 1 is meant to experience in this lifetime. Ooh, okay, 7 of Pentacles came out again. Interesting. I like this. I actually really like that because it feels like really connected. Some of you guys, I feel like maybe you have like learned a lot of the lessons. But let's see. So we have the 7 of Pentacles. Ay, demasiado. Okay, 7 of Pentacles. What else? Describe their personality and their situation in this lifetime for what they're meant to have going on. Knight of Pentacles, and it came out in reverse. Interesting. Okay. I just heard date prisa, like hurry up. And you got the Hierophant. Nice. Okay. So that's your personality, right? We're going to clarify that a little bit more. But I feel like, so in your past life, you guys probably really did well in terms of your career. Like, I think that you were probably very successful, and you had a lot of abundance. Some of you guys, you actually had a family too, and you loved your family. Everything you did in your life was for your family or for your business. It could have been both. I feel like in your lifetime you were very creative, and that creativity or the love that you had, either or, actually was very lucrative, and you were able to use that to get to success in your past life. And so it could have also been that at different times in your life your confidence was shook. Like, let's say if you went through like a period in a past life where you were like sick, or where you had been like kicked out, abandoned, or even just going through like some sort of health issue. That could have been too. Sometimes that happens with Five of Pentacles. I feel like that was a big shock to your confidence at some point. And some of you guys, it could have been closely connected to like your family. So let's say you didn't go through the disadvantages like that, but someone in your family did. Then I feel like it could have been that emotionally you were a very patient person, but maybe every now and again, every couple of years or something like that, you would go through like a really tough time. And I think maybe your money could have taken a hit, almost like some sort of like delays. Interesting. So in this lifetime, with your personality though, you're actually meant to be someone that lives a life where you're seen as somebody that understands that hard work actually pays off. So I feel like the lessons that you learn in your past life, you actually are utilizing them right now to this day. In this lifetime, you're meant to be someone who grows, who has results from like the effort that they put in. You're supposed to be someone that is like very hardworking, and the efforts that you put in are actually supposed to lead to you having success and lead to you feeling like very fulfilled, because of all the cultivation and all the patience and the dedication that you've put in. I also feel though, we're going to clarify the Knight of Pentacles actually. Okay, so we got Gemini, and it came out in reverse. And I think that makes a lot of sense, because I think in this lifetime, you guys are probably like meant to be self-made. So whereas another person might show off their intellect, or have conversations with people, network, have friends that get them here and there, I feel like in this lifetime you actually do a lot. You do a lot on your own, and you're like the opposite of lazy. In this lifetime, you're meant to be the opposite of lazy, the opposite of impatient. And you're not supposed to doubt the work that you're putting in, even if it's taking a long time. Okay, so clarifying the Knight of Pentacles, we have Sagittarius. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Because I think at some point in your life, though, you are actually meant to, I don't know if it's like retire early, or just like take a break from putting in so much work to travel, to explore, to live like a really happy and like free life. And some of you guys, it could be that you're like a really like well-mannered person. You could be like really well-mannered, or like just like very consistent and like dedicated. And I think that spirit is kind of saying that at some point, because you've always been this way and you were this way in a past life too, that maybe your karma in this lifetime is to maybe be seen, like when you go through that freedom period, as someone who, and don't take it the wrong way, but I feel like maybe other people might see you as somebody who's not dedicated, but that's like farthest from the truth. So I don't know if it's that you're meant to give yourself like breaks every now and again. You're meant to be able to travel like once a year, or however many times a year you want to. You're meant to be able to say what you feel and be yourself like really authentically, without having to conform to society or what your family or anyone else thinks is right or wrong. Some of you guys, you actually are meant to be married, or you're meant to be somebody that gives like really official like advice. So it could be like consulting. It could be you want to be like a spiritual leader. It could be a lot of things. But I feel like you actually are meant to be somebody that both understands and accepts traditions and like things like that work for you. But you're also meant to explore, and you're also meant to be able to be free. And you're not meant to be like stifled by what another person says is right or wrong for your life, because you are and probably always have been someone that really has like strong morals and ethics. So there is like a little bit of a rebellious nature to you, but I feel like it's because like you deserve it, and maybe every now and again you need a break. Okay, let's get one card to clarify this Hierophant here. You're supposed to be very respected in this lifetime, by the way. Very respected. Capricorn, yeah. Some of you guys, I could see you like being in a boss position, but because you're in like a high position, you actually are able to do things that you want to do, because you have like been on the straight and narrow, or you have like been ambitious. I feel like in a past life you were just as ambitious as you might be now. The only difference is that I think in the past life it could have been that you were going through things that you weren't able to really like have the freedom to explore and like truly be yourself in every instance. It could be like, what I mean by that is that, you know how like some people have like a work personality, where they have a reputation that they need to maintain, and stuff like that. And as normalized as that is, it can also be pretty stifling. And it can make you feel like maybe you're not meant to have X, Y, and Z unless you do A, B, and C. And I feel like what you're meant to learn and like experience in this lifetime is that that doesn't always have to be the case. That you actually can be seen by the right people as someone who, again, has strong morals, very ambitious, can manage themselves and other people very well. But you're also meant to be seen as somebody who is like wise in a different way. Like not like book smart wise, but like you understand life and how life takes twists and turns. And because that is the case, because life is short, you can work, but you're also meant to have a little fun too. I feel like Capricorn work hard, play hard. Whenever I see Capricorn and Sag in a chart, I heard work hard, play hard. So you're actually meant to be able, like, you know how some people they work day, night. They work till they're like 72 and they never ever actually got to do the things that they wanted to do because they had all these responsibilities or because they were just like grinding. And that's cool and all. Some of you guys that maybe is what you did in the past life, but I feel like you're actually meant to be at peace. You know what I mean? At some point. So some of you guys, I don't know if it's that you're meant to like retire early or what, but I really could see you being in like a boss position. Some of you guys, it's not about being a boss, but it's about being married. Like, I could see this group actually being meant to be like married and in like a committed relationship. Some of you guys, I don't know, you could meet that person through work or something like that, but it doesn't have to be. I do see that in this lifetime you are meant to have like long-term relationships. Hmm. I also feel like in terms of your emotional state, in this lifetime, you're meant to know that you are a good person. You know how like some people they can make a mistake or do this or do that or whatever, and they question themselves, or because another person questions themselves, or they don't follow what society is like the blueprint society has put out for everybody, that they start to question themselves. It's like the opposite for what you're meant to experience in this lifetime. Even if people are looking at you or treating you as if you um, just want things easy, I don't think that's true. A lot of you guys, I feel like you have like a natural knack for a lot of things. So whatever job or like industry you go into, you're not meant to like slave the way other people did to get to where you need to be. It's not about like cutting corners. I think it's about like working smarter, not harder, and also understanding that you're allowed to have like wants at the same time. So, ooh, Queen of Swords. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have people that like try to talk down on you or like are a little like condescending or just kind of make it seem like they know more than you, I feel like that is a part of the plan, but it's for you to recognize that at some point what they say doesn't matter and that you actually know a lot more than them. Not just like intelligence wise, but like on a different level, on a different plane. So you may have people that like try to like puff up their chest around you, try to make it seem like they know more, they're smarter than you or whatever like that. And I think it's because you might make them feel insecure about their own intelligence. You might make them feel insecure about their own way of like conversations and stuff. I feel like in this group you're not meant to like talk much at all. Like like some people they will and then there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. But like some people when they're really confident, it's like they can be like very boastful and like arrogant. One of the piles, maybe they are meant to be arrogant, but I feel like in this group, no. I feel like in this group, you're actually just meant to do you. And like you could live a quiet life. But when I say quiet, I mean like not everybody needs to know what you're doing or if you're having fun or whatever. You're just actually meant to just do it, just live. And so other people are going to come up in this Queen of Swords energy sometimes and, maybe be a little bit rough or like even rude. But you're supposed to kind of just like turn the other cheek, be the bigger person and just keep living your life. And it's so interesting because you got this card, plant yourself where you will bloom. And look, you have this Seven of Pentacles twice. And that's all about like planting those seeds and letting them grow and being patient. So let's say you've been working on this project for like 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, and everybody else assumes that it's never going to work out and that you should just give it up and do this instead. I feel like you're meant to hear stuff like that, but it's for you to get that confidence that maybe was shook at some point in a past life, to just know that you're on the right track and to just know that you are more than capable and that you actually intimidate a lot of people. And just the way that people respond to you when they're intimidated could actually be a bit like rash or rude, but that's really all it is. What else? On the positive side, though, like the people that actually do and can see you for you and accept you for you and also accept that you are legit, like very legitimate, and that you have solutions that other people could utilize. I feel like the people that can acknowledge that, they will willingly let you lead them. They will willingly let you show them the way, show them that you know best or that you have their best intentions in mind. So while you may be questioned, while other people may not completely understand you and why you do the things that you do, the right people will. And some of you guys, this could be like people that you actually help out of a difficult place, or it could be your own family as well. Hmm. I feel like in this group, you could be a provider, but you don't have to be. If you don't want a family, if you don't want to be married, then that's fine. Then I feel like the Hierophant there instead would just be you being in a position of power where the things that you say, the advice you give and stuff is actually meant to be understood, taken at face value, and like respected. I really feel like the biggest thing for this group is that you're meant to be respected. Mm-hmm. You're not meant to be, having people come at you crazy and actually like hurt your status or hurt your life. It's just words at the end of the day. Okay, what else? Let's get 2 more cards. Oh, the Chariot. Wow. Okay. The Chariot. I like that for you. Because this is actually what you're meant to overcome and what you're meant to achieve in this lifetime. And you got the Chariot. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's get 1 more. And then we'll just look at the full picture a little bit longer. Okay. Tell me more. Ooh. Oh my God, look at this card. It says wisdom and virtue. And it also says retirement on this card. And that's what I was just talking about. Okay. So you guys are meant to have like a lot of savings as well. So I don't know if it's like investing. Some of you guys, that could be what it is. Or like, that could be something you venture into. Let's get 1 more. And then we'll look at the full picture. Tell me about card number 1 and what they're meant to overcome and achieve in this lifetime. Ooh. Oh my God. Yo, I can't make it up. Didn't I just tell you? Like, how many times did I say you're meant to be the boss? You're meant to be in leadership. You're meant to be firm. And you're meant to protect your virtues and what you already know to be true about yourself and the shit that you know. And anybody that questions that, the only thing that they're going to do is delay their own progress because they don't want to learn from you. So it could be that like maybe you're younger, but you like are killing it in your field. Or maybe, God forbid, but sometimes it does happen. You get family members that think that they're the hot shit and you're not, and they try to shit on you. Other times it could be friends or coworkers or colleagues or even people that are meant to actually mentor you, but you end up knowing more than them. And instead of knowing that like the teacher is forever learning as well, it's like they may brush you off or they may, try to make you feel like weak or weak-minded. And you're the exact opposite than that. The exact opposite. Wow. Wow. What else, Spirit? Let's talk about the Ace of Cups. So in a past life, some of you guys, what you dealt with was like, in terms of your career and your success, I actually feel like you were able to be like warm and your spirit kind of invigorated your workplace or the work that you did in a past life. And that led you to have this King of Pentacles energy, which is like abundant pleasure, a full spirit and beautiful situation. I feel like in a past life, some of you guys, you actually had like some sort of dynasty or something. You were skilled in a lot of ways. It could have been with business. It could have been with a particular trade, anything. But I feel like you love the work that you did and you love the family that you had if you did have one in a past life. And some of you guys, you were really good with business or you were a really wise investor in a past life, proficient in a lot of things. And you were like the opposite of somebody that was like corrupt or like a cheat or like a swindler. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And because that was the case, the Tower and the Five of Pentacles. So this was about confidence though. Some of you guys, it could have been that you derived your confidence in a past life from your work or from your reputation or something like that. Maybe in the amount of money you had or the amount of success you had in your field. And I feel like with the Tower, some of you guys, I don't know if you took like a shock or you took a hit at some point in a past life, but the shock actually ended up improving your outlook on life. It actually, so let's say let's say you were working, right? All of a sudden you had an injury or you lost somebody or I don't know. And it actually made things very difficult for you for a while. But I feel like in the past life, what actually ended up happening after it was all like said and done was that you actually got some sort of support or you brought yourself out of it. Because I was seeing that you're a very like independent person, even in this lifetime alone. And that could have been like one of those skills or one of those traits that just transferred into this lifetime too. And so what ended up happening with the Tower card is I think it actually improved your outlook and it actually improved your confidence. So you know how like you could go through something really difficult and when you're in the thick of it, it can make you feel less than. But I feel like what ended up happening though was that it showed you who you no longer needed, what no longer was working for you, and you actually got right back to it with the Seven of Pentacles. Like I feel like in a past life, you guys really worked on developing your skills, just growing as an individual. You took a lot of time to reflect on like your progress and where you wanted to be in your past life. And I feel like that is why in this lifetime you're meant to be the boss. You're meant to, be someone that shows up as like courageous and like have power and to actually be divinely protected because you deserved it. And because when you went through things like this, you didn't go corrupt. You didn't take the easy way out. You actually were patient and you knew that your time was meant to come, even if it was a big shock when things went south. Again, if you don't believe in past lives, then this could just be something that you've experienced in your lifetime right now. And so what you're meant to experience or whatever here in the bottom could just be, in the future. But some of you guys, you lived to a very, very, very old age in a past life. Very old age. And I feel like that's where the wisdom came from. Huh. That's so funny because, like let's say somebody died really early when they were in a past life, like either as a child or a young adult, and maybe some of the lessons that they would have learned in their Saturn return or something like that never came. So maybe in this lifetime, they're meant to be young and free because maybe their life was cut short. Or maybe in this lifetime, they do work a lot harder so they can learn those lessons that they weren't able to. Who knows? But I feel like you're like the opposite, where you live to a very old age and you put in a lot of work and a lot of effort. Mhm. You went through a lot of like severe and abrupt changes, some that maybe even were traumatic for you, for some of you guys in a past life when it came to your family or even your love life, and it could have affected your emotional state, but I feel like it never really affected your drive. It never affected your patience or how thorough you were. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. What? Okay, so tell me about the Queen of Swords then. Because these are the people that are quote unquote negatively affected by you, but I don't think that's what it is. It could just be like negative interactions you're meant to have. And the reason why I put this part in here is because with everything there is a light and a shadow, right? So I feel like other people that come towards you with the Queen of Swords energy in this lifetime, they're actually coming towards you that way because they're anxious and sad themselves. hmm They carry a lot of burdens that you were able to somehow release, even in a past life and also in this one. So what they may try to do is put those burdens on you verbally, and that's all it is. It's just words. hmm I feel like these people that show up in this Queen of Swords energy is like they weep quietly alone sometimes, and that loneliness that they feel. I heard misery loves company. Misery loves company. hmm So it might even be people that kind of show up like a victim in their own life, and for some reason they blame you for that. But because you're wise, because you're meant to be the boss, because you're meant to be the leader, and you're meant to be courageous and know that that's not your place in life, they're gonna keep feeling that way until they learn the lesson. It's like these are the people that were torn by the events that life brought towards them, and you weren't like that, and you're not meant to be like that in this lifetime either. Not at all. hmm I feel like in the best way possible, like the people that can love you and appreciate you, you actually show up as someone who gets rid of turmoil. hmm Somebody who helps people find peace. Somebody that helps people escape a really difficult situation, maybe because in the past life that's what you needed, and maybe you never got it, or maybe you did, and that's why you're so thankful, and that's why you do what you do now. But I really feel like the good interactions and the good effect that you have on people, the good effect that you're meant to have on people in this lifetime is to make people that feel like they didn't have an ability to break free from bad circumstances, make people that felt trapped or even miserable actually be free. And it's through your words, it's through your advice, it's through your help. Wow. So yeah, the people that are stuck in the Queen of Swords energy that I was talking about earlier, and well, maybe they're gonna have the same karmic lessons in the next one because they just couldn't get it right. And that's not your fault. That's not your burden to bear. But I do feel like in this lifetime, you may carry a lot of burdens for people that are appreciative and people that understand how lovely it is to have someone like that in their corner. hmm You're supposed to teach people to go faster, to try harder, to reach the top, and to not be foolish. Not in a tyrannical way, but like it's like it's almost like you're cradling them. You're supposed to teach people to release themselves from expectations that they gathered from other people, but think are their own. You're supposed to free people from their own mind and to teach them to lighten up and send them on their way. Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Wow. And with the Chariot, you're meant to be in control. You're meant to take the reins because you're so disciplined. You're meant to expand personally. And to feel empowered. Wow. So if that resonated, give it a like and come back for another one on my channel. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? All right. Let's get started now with this next group, card number 2. I'm going to try my best to get everything done in the time that I have. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's get started with this next group. Card number 2. Timestamp for card number 2. I'll put it in the chat. It's going to be 25. Hi, card number 2. Welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be looking at what you're meant to be in this lifetime, who you're meant to be in this lifetime. And we're going to analyze your past life and look at what you're meant to have this lifetime. So, yeah, the card you chose is Find Joy in Ordinary Things. And we're just going to go straight into it. I'm going to pull all the shuffles and then I'll give you the reading. So if you don't like the shuffles, you might want to pass forward. Obviously, if you're watching live, you're not going to be able to do that, but maybe you can go get a sip of water or whatever. But your past lifetime, we have Ace of Wands. Interesting. Ace of Wands. Wow, 9 of Cups. Oh my goodness. And the 3 of Pentacles. Wow. Really beautiful cards there. Let's clarify them. Clarify the Ace of Wands. Clarify the Ace of Wands, please. Okay. We got the Moon in reverse. Love that. Okay. Clarify the 9 of Cups. Clarify the 9 of Cups for what their past life was like and how that's going to segue into what they're meant to have this lifetime and who they're meant to be this lifetime. We're going to be looking at your personality as well. Okay. 2 of Cups. Oh my God. 2 of Cups. And the 4 Swords. Wow. This is nice. Nice. I feel like you were actually pretty happy in a past lifetime. If you don't believe in past lifetimes, then this could just be like something you've experienced in this lifetime. But I really am doing like past life analysis right now. So let's look at the personality. Tell me about the personality and who they're supposed to be, the circumstances they're supposed to experience in this lifetime now. So we'll get 3 cards for that. Wow. 8 of Pentacles. Cool. 8 of Pentacles. 5 of Wands. Okay. I guess that makes sense. And the Hangman. Okay. Tell me more about the personality. So we have the 8 of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands, and the Hangman. What's this 8 of Pentacles about? Clarify this 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so we have Venus. Oh, okay. Interesting. Tell me about the 5 of Wands. Damn. Tell me about the 5 of Wands. Oh my. Cardinal. Instigation, bravery, and a pioneering spirit. You got that right on top of the 5 of Wands. Makes a lot of sense. Some of you guys, I don't know if you have like Venus placements or Aries in your chart. You don't have to, but that came through as well as Pisces. In Taurus. Yeah, Taurus is ruled by Venus. But again, you don't have to have that in your chart. I feel like that's more so talking about your personality and your experiences. So how are they meant to affect people in this lifetime? How are they meant to affect other people? Got a couple more cards to pull. How are they meant to affect people in this lifetime? And what are they meant to achieve and accomplish? Okay, so we have the 9 of Pentacles. Damn. 9 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands again. So it makes a lot of sense that the 5 of Wands came out twice. But that's actually how you're supposed to make people grow. So in this group, if you think that you have to be like nice all the time and you have to, suppress your own emotions and burn yourself out by not being honest about how you truly feel and how people are affecting you, that's not true. You're actually meant to, if someone pisses you off, if someone makes you upset, if someone does you wrong, or if they're just being a shitty person, I actually feel like you're meant to give them a hard time. You're actually meant to let them know that. But I feel like the reason why is because you actually really do have a good heart and a good spirit, and that was so abundantly clear in a past life. The way you lived your life in a past life, that's why. So I'll explain to you. So I don't know if it's like you're meant to kind of like find your voice, or you're meant to like really stand your ground and stick up for yourself. Yeah, look, there's the writer. And it's all about passion and speed and like news and the energy. Oh, okay, cool. And what you're meant to have the world. Wow. You're meant to have the world. What? Interesting. Okay. So let's look at the Ace of Wands. I feel like in a past life with the Ace of Wands, this is actually talking about maybe your career and your work life in a past life. So for you to be getting the Ace of Wands, it could have been that you had a very like bright spark and like a really like imaginative mind in a past life. And that really was translated into your work. So you could have been like an artist in a past life. You could have been like someone that made things with their hands, like a carpenter. You could have done a lot of things, but I feel like you were just like full of ideas that you were able to actually like birth into your career. hmm Very passionate in a past life when it came to your career. You started a lot of great things in the past life. And with the moon card there, with the moon card there, I feel like some of you guys, you actually dove into your work. Like your work was actually an escape for you in the past life. So you were able to kind of avoid reality and interact with these like strange forces. And maybe some people thought that you were delusional or that you weren't being honest or true, but I feel like you were just really deep in a past life and probably like very misunderstood by a lot of people. But I feel like it's because not everybody is as spiritual as you were. Not everybody was as connected as you were. I feel like you were actually like very mysterious. I don't know what you did for for work in a past life, but I feel like it was like one of those things that just like a very niche and like unique job. And yeah, I feel like you were actually the opposite of someone who was like under illusions or controlled by their subconscious mind. Like you weren't brainwashed, you were true and like authentic to you. And that really came through in whatever work that you did. I also feel like here, you were truly loved in a past life, truly loved and admired. Like you had a lot of friends, you had a lot of people that gravitated towards you, people that you were compatible with, people that you made feel whole. And I also feel like with the Nine of Cups that that was something that you were very happy to do. Like your relationships actually filled you with a lot of desire and a lot of confidence in a past life. You actually had partners and friends that loved you and encouraged you to be yourself. So you were full of love, just so deeply rooted within you. And I also feel like here, even when it came to your family life in a past life, with the Four of Swords and the Three of Pentacles, I feel like your family life, your love life, your emotional state is you were just like very at peace and you were very, very, very cooperative in a past life. Like you wanted everyone to get along, you wanted things to work well, and you were willing to contribute. But I also feel like you were just like a really great listener in a past life. You really made people feel like understood and at peace. So as emotional as you were also very rational and cooperative, and you taught people a lot of things just by being that way. Just like a very peaceful and like generous and like loving person. And so I feel like that's why the Five of Wands came out and the Nine of Pentacles for how you affect people in like the negative way. And I will explain what I mean by that. But like in this lifetime, I actually feel like you're meant to give and receive love. So if you're giving love and another person is coming towards you in this like Five of Wands energy, then I actually feel like you're meant to give them hell for it. You're actually meant to let them know what's up and let them know that that shit is not cool. It's not cool to be aggressive and constantly making arguments and creating chaos and like trying to be in competition with other people. And I feel like the reason why is because what you learned in a past life was that that didn't get you anywhere. You actually were happier and like full of more love and joy and peace by being a good person and by wanting other people to have a good time and like not feel slighted or harmed by your energy. So if anybody's coming towards you with that sort of energy in this past life, like the opposite of that, like really, really like I mean, look, it's like they're fighting here, like really mean, gross, vulgar, brutal. If anyone is even coming towards you with any sort of like violent energy or anything like that, you're actually meant to give that right back to them. You're actually meant to stand up for yourself out of confidence. And I feel like it's because in a past life, you got your confidence from the opposite. You got your confidence from being loved and for loving other people. So some of you guys, it could even be that in this lifetime, maybe for work, you end up doing something like that. Like it could be that you end up doing like therapy, or I don't know if it's something to do with like education or something like craftsman. Because a lot of the time, Eight of Pentacles is like when you're like a craftsman, you make stuff with your hands, or you do something that's like very detailed and focused. But the fact that it's connected here to the Venus, all about love and beauty. Some of you guys, I don't know, you could even be like a hairstylist or do something with like beauty or and that what's it called, in that field. It doesn't have to be, but I really feel like in this lifetime, when it comes to your career, you're actually meant to like do some sort of like training or um like kind of work your way up through those ranks. I don't know if it's just simply because maybe what you are meant to do in this lifetime, it does take some sort of training. It doesn't have to be like forever. I also feel like some of you guys, you're meant to try different jobs and like different fields until you find the one that you actually love and the one that you actually feel like safe with, hmm and like comfortable with. You're meant to be like very ambitious in this lifetime too. So, and also another thing too is that you're not meant to like nitpick any of the work that you produce. hmm And you're not meant to like have a boring job either or really hate the job that you do. So if you do, that could be why I was saying like maybe you're meant to try new things until you like it. Some of you guys are even meant to be like self-employed, but the thing that you do actually brings like love and like joy to other people. Mm-hmm. I feel like when it comes to your confidence is supposed to be rooted in this brave spirit, this brave energy in you to stick up for yourself, to stick up for what you know is right, and to give people hell if they're trying to give that to you. The reason why I'm saying that is because some people, they really don't want that. They don't like conflict. They don't like fighting, and that's all okay. But I think the reason why you're meant to experience that in this lifetime is because of the way that you were in the past. You were such a good person. You were so peaceful. You never caused like drama or harm to anybody. And you were so empathetic and so deep, and you could just feel people. And that was just like a skill that you had. And I feel like you have that in this lifetime too. The difference is that people might see that in this lifetime and think that it's weak, or think that they can punk you or they can do X, Y, and Z. And I feel like you're actually meant to show them that no, that's not meant to happen. And maybe even that they need you more than you need them, for sure. Because your energy is really hard to come by. It's really hard to come by somebody who is trustworthy and patient and sensual and beautiful. Like, I feel like you have a lot of beauty in you. You are able, the card you chose, to find joy in ordinary things. And you were able to do that in the past life too. hmm I feel like, as well, tell me about the Hangman. Yeah. You're meant to be at peace in this lifetime too, but I think it's more of like enlightenment. Like, you're meant to reach enlightenment in this lifetime. You're supposed to bring people to that too, with your love and your patience. You're meant to show people new perspectives, even if it's through letting them know that you're not one to fuck with. Oh, I like that. Yeah, because I heard it's like you're meant to be able to go from 0 to 100 real quick. Because I feel like in this lifetime, you really do mind your business and you really don't like, harm other people or anything like that. So if they're coming towards you like that, then it's a problem for real. Yeah. Nine of Pentacles. You're supposed to make other people feel incapable, for real. The Nine of Pentacles in the best energy, right? And we're looking at the light and the shadow, right? So how you affect people positively and how you affect people negatively. And I feel like these are kind of blended in together. So if you constantly have people come towards you jealous and a competitive energy and an aggressive energy, creating arguments or whatever, you're actually meant to shut that shit down. For real. Like, you're actually meant to have the last word. You're actually meant to have the last laugh. And I know how that sounds, but you are, because what they're supposed to see is that maybe if they were a better person like you were, that they could be just as successful, that they could be just as happy. But instead, what they probably end up doing is like making things really competitive when it comes to work, or, like trying to be very materialistic and like boast about how much money they have and this and that, and how they don't need people and how they maybe want to break hearts and shit. And you're supposed to be like, no, 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 no. You're a fucked up person for that. Like, yeah, for real. You're really supposed to show people that this is the way to be. Love is the way to be. And if they can't get that, like, I feel like you're supposed to show people that we are human and we're full of love and light. So you get what you give. You're meant to show people that they get what they give. So if they come toward you like that, then game on, for real. And it's because in the past life, you were just the opposite of that. You don't need to be that this lifetime, because it could have been really hard to remain peaceful and loving and rational or whatever. And you're meant to be able to put your foot down. You're meant to be able to be brave and stick up for yourself and stick up for what you know is right. And to be able to love yourself, because that's how you show up. And the second that you're able to do that in this lifetime is when you actually get the goals and the accomplishments, and everything starts to come full circle for you. Like, you get that message, you get that loan, you get that acceptance, you get that whatever. Like yeah, it's almost like a switch. As soon as you get into this energy where you're not afraid to fight, you're not afraid to blah, 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 boom. That's when the energy picks up. That's when the passion is like revitalized. That's when you get that good news and that good message. Yeah, so if that resonated, please give it a like and come back for another one on my channel. I'm going to pick these cards up now and we're going to get started with card number 3. I'm going to put you guys in the virtual reading room just while I pick the cards up, okay? All right, let's get started with card number 3. Card 3, we're going to start you at like 41 minutes. Hi, card number 3. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're going to be looking at your past lives and what you're meant to be, who you're meant to be and achieve and accomplish in this lifetime. So the card you chose is Inhale Confidence, Exhale Doubt. So let's look into it. So first, we're going to look at 3 cards that kind of represent your past life and what you went through. We'll clarify those. And then we'll look at your personality and who you're meant to be in this lifetime, okay? So we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. The High Priestess. Interesting. And the Hangman. Interesting. Okay. Tell me about the Page of Pentacles. I'm going to do all the shuffles and then we'll get into the reading. So if you're watching this and you're not watching live, then you can always fast forward if you don't like to watch the shuffles. And if you do like to watch the shuffles, then great. You can hang with me. Wow, you guys got the moon in reverse too. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense actually for what you went through. Okay. Tell me about the High Priestess for their past life. The 8 of Cups. Okay. A lot of emotions in a past life. Very emotional. Very intense is who you were and what you were in a past life. Very emotional and very intense. Tell me about the Hangman. Yep. Look, 2 of Swords too. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Some of you guys, if you don't believe in past lives, and this is like who you used to be or who you grow out of being, for you to get the success and like the happiness that you're meant to have in this lifetime. So let's clarify. Show me who they're meant to be and what their circumstances and personality is meant to be like in this lifetime now. And we're going to compare this to your past life. 3 cards, please, one by one. Show me card number 3. First card is the Queen of Wands. Hubba, hubba. Oh, I love that. Love that. 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords. Okay. This one's cool. And the 2 of Cups. Yes. Cool. Okay. So let's clarify the personality a little bit more. Tell me about their personality and who they're meant to be in this lifetime. Why is the Queen of Wands here? Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Queen of Wands. We got Earth. It actually came out in reverse. So the opposite of persistence, patience, and practicality. I like that. I like that. Tell me about the 7 of Swords. I'm hearing that song. She's a bad man, my Gemma. And I also heard Brick House. That song, Brick House. Sagittarius. Oh my goodness. Yep, the opposite of Earth. And then you get Sagittarius and the Queen of Wands energy coming through. Love that. 2 of Cups. Clarify the 2 of Cups for me. For who they're meant to be and what they're meant to experience in this lifetime. I actually really like that you got the 2 of Cups there. Yeah, Taurus. Oh, yes. Okay, cool. Cool. So how are they meant to affect people? We're going to look at the positive and the light. So how do you make people feel in a positive way and how do you make people feel in a negative way? Ooh, this reading is interesting. I know I'm just making like all these sounds and stuff, but I'm going to tell you why. But you're meant to make people feel how you felt in your past life. Yep. I heard someone say, forget about it. Shout out to anybody here who's like a city girl, city boy. You be in them streets. You be outside. And if you're not outside, you're meant to be, by the way. You're meant to be outside. You're meant to be having fun. You're meant to be living life to the fullest, for sure. You're not meant to be tied down. And that doesn't mean you can't be in a relationship. But if you are going to be in a relationship, you're meant to be with somebody that knows that you're the shit. Look, silence. Ooh, the star. Ooh, some of you guys, you're meant to be like famous. You're meant to be like a celebrity. You're meant to be up there, for sure. And be like unapologetically yourself. This could be the group of people, though, where you actually do get your lick back. You actually do get your lick back, and you're meant to. What are they meant to have? Ace of Cups. Love that. Oh, I love that, because I really feel like that you didn't have that in a past life. You didn't have that at all. You didn't have that love and the confidence in a past life. And you got duty, burden, big problem, grief, religious, and faith. Okay, awesome. Okay. So in a past life, I feel like you guys, you worked and it never really got anywhere. Like you were always like restarting when it came to your career. And because of that, I feel like it actually really could have hurt your like self-esteem and made you really like fearful to make the big risks or do the big thing that you were supposed to do to get where you wanted to be. So what does that mean? Let's say you always wanted to, in a past life, again, this is just in a past life, but let's say in a past life, you always wanted to rule the world, right? And to do that, you had to do X, Y, and Z. It's almost like you kept telling yourself that even though you wanted that, that you weren't deserving of it, or that it actually wasn't going to happen, and that you were just kind of like living in fantasy. So you would work, but you weren't doing everything that you were meant to. It was almost like you're always starting over. You're always like just putting in just enough to get by, but not enough to get what you actually wanted. And I don't think it was out of being lazy. I think it was actually out of insecurity. I think it was actually out of some of you guys unfortunately, it could have just been like your home life and your situation that actually led you to feel that insecure. So let's say you were abandoned by a parent or you were shunned by a parent. You could have had a parent that was not a parent. They weren't wise. They didn't raise you to be confident. They didn't. It's like your parents, maybe they didn't excel. They didn't succeed. And because they were like that, you never really got to see what you wanted to be. You didn't have any role models. So you tried your best, but you never quite got there. And I feel like the reason why that affected you the way it affected you was that it made you feel very lonely, made you feel really alone. It could have been that you lived in like a very superficial society in a past life, and maybe people just weren't gravitated towards you, or you assumed that people wouldn't love you if you didn't have X, Y, and Z. So it's like you almost always sold yourself short. You never really kept your head up high, and you might have even left people before they left you out of paranoia, but what you thought was like intuition. I feel like in a past life you really followed like your fears and your paranoia instead of like where you were actually being guided to learn, if that makes sense. And so the reason why you're meant to be this like badass mamma jamma in this lifetime is because you finally learned the lesson, or that's the lesson you're meant to learn in this lifetime. So in this lifetime with the Queen of Wands, you're meant to be seen as like funny and like confident and vivacious. And like, you're not meant to be that person that holds people down, even if they're not doing you the same. You're not even meant to be that you're not meant to do anything that you don't want to do in this lifetime. It's so funny because you got these cards that kind of show me in a past life that you were just always stuck. It's like you really couldn't see the answers that were like right in front of you in regards to your own capabilities and even the way that people truly loved you. It's like you could have felt really unloved and unseen and misunderstood in the past life, even if that was the opposite. But I do feel like in this group, you actually probably were like taken for granted, or just kind of seen as like less than, even by your own family, your own friends. Unfortunately, it happens, in a past life. And I feel like that's the reason why in this lifetime, you're actually meant to have the exact opposite of that. And you're actually meant to make people question themselves in this lifetime. So I heard what goes around comes back around, but even if it takes lifetimes. So let's say in a past life, right? Your mother abandoned you. And then in this lifetime, they came back as someone that you dated briefly but ghosted you, or you dated briefly and then they cheated on you or whatever. Sometimes it happens, people come back in your life in a different lifetime. They're not the same exact partner, or they're not in the same like relationship position as they were when you met them the first time, but the lesson is all the same. For you to know that you didn't need them and that you were perfectly fine without them, and that they probably needed you, and you were probably meant to make them expand and have love, but it's like they weren't willing to accept it. They weren't willing to see the good in you. And instead they probably contributed to your insecurities even more. So what happens in this lifetime is that you might even meet or come around those people all again. But what actually ends up happening is that you make them feel played. You make them feel like you were lying to them, or like you were cheating them. And that's not even the truth. You were just living in your true authenticity. You weren't changing yourself for them. In this lifetime, you're meant to be confident. You're meant to be independent. You're meant to be brave. You're meant to be hot as fuck, by the way, too. And to see yourself that way. You're kind of meant to be seen as this person like, oh, I don't know if they're going to break my heart. I don't know if they're going to, really stick it through or be around or whatever, even if that is who you are. That's how you're meant to be perceived. You're meant to be seen as someone who's more than confident, more than capable. And you're meant to view yourself that way too. You're meant to explore and like be free. And I also feel like in terms of love, because you didn't have that in a past life, you're actually meant to be loved. You're meant to be loved, adored, and admired. Like if you wanted to be famous, you could be famous. Like for real. Like anything that you want in this lifetime, you're actually meant to have it. And I feel like it's because in a past life, you convince yourself otherwise. You let like your circumstances and, things just not working out in your favor because you weren't like following the signs dictate how you felt about yourself and how you felt about life. And I feel like, unfortunately, it happens, but like in a past life, you could have actually made other people feel like a bit like drained because of that. And so I feel like this time around, it's like you're given like a redo, you're given a do-over. Like, okay, what if you actually knew in some way, I don't know how, but what if you actually knew that you were supposed to be dope as fuck? What if you actually knew that like you're meant to live life to the fullest, and that everything that you want you could actually have? What if? And that's love. That's with recognition. That's with everything, for real. I feel like in this lifetime you're meant to have a soulmate. You're meant to have a partner. You're meant to, be in union with somebody that completely understands you and wants to be in harmony with you, and that would never leave you, and is patient with you and honest with you and sure of you. That's what you're meant to have. And I feel like that comes as soon as you show up like this for yourself. Page of Pentacles, you're supposed to make other people feel kind of like unworthy, for real. And I'm not saying you deliberately have to tell them that they aren't shit. You could like just be like a very outspoken and like confident person, for real, and make people question themselves. You could be that if that is your personality. But I feel like it's almost in another way where it's like they look at you and then they start asking themselves what maybe they could do different with the Page of Pentacles. Interesting. Yeah, you kind of the effect that you have on people in like the negative way is that it's like you could have like really bright ideas and just like really really creative and like vibrant person, and then be around people that just always feel like they're not on your level, always feel like their mind is not as inventive as you, that they're going to be constantly trying to build themselves up but they're not going to quite get there, and it's because how you felt in a past life. And I feel like the reason why you felt that way in a past life is not because that's who you were, but because of your circumstances, and because of the family that you were born into, and because of some of you guys, like the society you were born into. Like let's say you were born with like a deformity in a past life, or you I don't know, you just weren't on this socioeconomic level or whatever, and for that reason you were kind of like treated like shit, or you were thrown you know thrown it almost feels like in a past life like you were left to your own devices. You weren't actually raised, so you did the best you could, but you always felt like it wasn't enough. You know what I mean? You always felt like you were still trying to get there, and it wasn't your fault, but you kept convincing yourself that it was your fault. And so because you thought that you weren't worthy and it was your fault, that you kind of continued to sit in that life instead of listening when you got these symbols and like divine messages from spirit trying to show you that there was a different way out. So in this lifetime, what they do instead is to go, okay, okay, let's put them here. Let's put them around these people and show them that they are better. They are better than what they think they are. And there actually are people that are lower than them. And I'm not trying to say that to sound like weak or weak-minded or like rude or anything, but like when you're a good person, you can tell who's not. And you're meant to feel good about yourself, knowing that you're a good person in a world like this, especially when in a past life you were treated like shit, like dirt. I hope I'm being clear about that. But I also feel like in the most positive way, you're meant to inspire people and bring people hope. So let's say even in this lifetime, you weren't raised right, or you did struggle, or you did try this and it failed, and then you had to move on or whatever. It's the fact that you were able to do that that's supposed to be inspiring. That's supposed to make people see the best in you and feel like guided by you in a different way. And anybody that really can't see that or accept that, well, they're always going to feel like this Page of Pentacles. Ultimately, what you're meant to have and achieve in this lifetime, card number 3, is true love. Love that like emanates from within. Love that spreads. Love that was deserving the entire time. You're supposed to have people in your life that feel like it is a duty to be there for you, to make you trust them, to be patient with you. Like it's supposed to feel like their duty. You're supposed to have people that if they couldn't get it right, they're supposed to grieve you when you're gone. They're supposed to understand that maybe they made their own bed. For real. I really do feel like that. I do. I feel like love is what you're supposed to have in this lifetime. Love for yourself, love from other people. So you can be cocky, you can be arrogant, you can, laugh at people when they think they're better than you, because they're not. They just aren't. It's the truth. In this group, like you're meant to be like a baddie, or you're meant to be like, like big kahuna, like for real. And you're meant to be loved for that. So you're not meant to like make yourself smaller. You're not meant to like not say that thing that you were thinking. You're not. And you're actually not meant to be like on your hands and knees, like slaving and grinding just for like bare minimum. No, not at all. You're actually meant to have like a whole hell of a lot and to actually live a life that you love. You don't have to be practical all the time. You don't have to be like doing all these things that maybe other people told you was the only way to get to here. No, you're meant to be confident in yourself and wherever you are in life. And you're meant to be loved for that. So don't feel like you have to have X amount of dollars or this job or live here or whatever to be loved. No, you're meant to be loved like truly and authentically for like who you are. You were sent in this lifetime by spirit or whatever you believe in to just be you and to be loved for that, admired for that, even if people can't admit it, even if it makes other people feel small. Yeah. So if that resonated, please give it a like and come back for another one on my channel. I love you guys. My name is Jay, and we're going to get started now with card number 4. Okay. Here we go. Wow, that was dope. All right. So Spirit, can you tap me in now to card number 4? We're going to get started with them in just a moment. Hold on, yeah. Okay. Wow, that was cool. I actually really like that message. Okay. Tell me about card number 4 then. And I'll put the timestamp in the chat for anybody that's like coming in later right now. So just give me a second. Okay, so you chose, it may not get easier, but you will get stronger. Okie dokie. Timestamp for card 4 is, we'll just say we're starting you guys at like 1 hour. Okay. Here we go. Deep breath. One more. Okay. We're getting started with the card number 4 in about 15 seconds. I felt the need to kind of slow my roll a little bit for this group. Here we go. Card number 4. It may not get easier, but you will get stronger. That's the card you chose. So we're going to be looking at your past life and who you're meant to be, what you're meant to experience and have in this lifetime. So let's look at your past life to start off. We have the 7 of Wands. Okay. The 4 of Pentacles. Damn. Okay. Oh, okay. And the 7 of Swords. Wow. Well, it makes a lot of sense. Actually makes a lot of sense already immediately. Okay. It's like my tone is changing, like everything for this group. Clarify the 7 of Wands. You have the World. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Some of you guys, the reason why I'm apologizing is because I don't know if some of the like feelings have actually like bled into your life this lifetime. I'll explain it all in a second, but just know it'll make sense. Okay, clarifying the Sun, we have, oh damn, 4 of Pentacles. Damn, really? Okay, and the 7 of Swords. Clarify the 7 of Swords. I'm sorry, you guys had it rough in a past life, for real. Clarifying it, yeah, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Interesting how, doesn't it look the same? The sword? I think they're both in reverse right there. Wow. Oh my God. Okay. All right, so show me what they're meant to have and who they're meant to be in this lifetime. So if you guys are watching live, you guys are going to watch me do the shuffles. Anybody that comes later and that doesn't like this part, you guys can fast forward, but damn. Queen of Cups in reverse. Chariot in reverse and 5 Pentacles. Okay, I just want to take them one by one. Who are they meant to be in this lifetime? Strength. Yep. Yes. Who are they meant to be in this lifetime? I love that. I love that. Wait a minute. The Hierophant. Oh, okay. What else? Knight of Cups. Okay. Interesting. So if you guys don't believe in past lives, this could also just be like maybe experiences that you've had in this lifetime in the past, or it could even be something you're going through right now that you're meant to like grow out of before you get like all the love and the accomplishments that we're going to talk about in just a second. Clarify the strength card for their personality and their circumstances for this lifetime, please. Opposition. Wow. Damn. Yep. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Tell me about the Hierophant. Clarify the Hierophant and their personality and what they're meant to have in this lifetime. Who they're meant to be. Damn. Wow. Gemini. Gemini. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Tell me about the Knight of Cups. Sextile. Oh, cool. Combination of tension and flow in a potential rewarding situation. Okay, I like this. I like this a lot. Because some of you guys, like, you could feel this way in your life right now. Or you could have felt it at some point, maybe before you found, like, love or before you, like, found true friends or something like that. So right now what I'm shuffling for is we're going to be looking at how you impact people, how you're meant to impact people in this lifetime. And we're going to be looking at the shadow and the light. So, you know, you're never going to be perfect to everybody. You know, not everybody's going to love you. Not everyone's going to like you. That's life. So we're going to be looking at both, the ones that love you and the ones that can't stand to for whatever reason, and how you're meant to impact those people. And it will all make sense in a second. Nine of Cups. Okay. Interesting. Damn. How are they meant to impact people in a positive way in this lifetime? Wow. Courage. You got the Strength card twice. Wow. And what are they meant to have and accomplish in this lifetime? What are they meant to have and accomplish in this lifetime? You got the Nine of Wands. And you got the Seven of Wands up there. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. And what else? Ship. Vehicles, movement, journey, change, and distance. Okay. So I feel like in a past life, you guys were probably... I don't think you were like the most confident in a past life. And I feel like it's because you were probably like bullied. Or like very like manipulated around like narcissistic people in a past life. And unfortunately, I feel like that kind of like soaked into your personality in a past life. So because you weren't loved, you didn't trust that people loved you genuinely. So you weren't as open with yourself and like your ability to care and like give to people. Yeah, and I feel like it's like an example that was set for you. So like you know how, like I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie like Megamind, where it, like showed the dichotomy between like Mega Man and, oh wait, his name wasn't Mega Man. What was his name? The superhero in that movie? Fuck. Metro Man? Was it Metro Man? I don't know. And then there was Megamind. And they were actually both like kind of born into like difficult situations. The only difference was that Megamind was actually sent to be grown up in like a prison. He was actually sent to be grown up in a prison by like criminals. So the only thing he knew was like stealing. The only thing he knew was like lying and, you know, like trying to beat people. And it actually made them feel like deep down, he was actually like very insecure. But if you got to know him personally, he was actually like a good friend, and he actually he did have like a goodness to him. He just didn't have anybody that saw them. He didn't have anybody that like tried to help cultivate that goodness in them. And it's kind of what I'm getting for this like past life, where it's almost like you could have been like very defensive, or like always having to fight, or really always having to protect yourself, or feeling like you had to protect yourself, feeling like people were always trying to take from you, trying to take your light, trying to take your energy, and maybe even like blame you for things that weren't even like your fault. And I feel like maybe at some point you maybe just said like enough is enough, and you were tired of that cycle happening over and over. So what you did was kind of like conceal your true self. You never showed anybody your true self. You never really spoke what you were truly thinking. You might have even said like the opposite. So you could have loved somebody and told them that you hated them. You could have been hurt by somebody and told them that you didn't need them, but you did. Like things like that. And like I said, I feel like it was like a learned behavior. I feel like it was like you were kind of like pushing like back into a corner to have to show up like that, like constantly doing and saying like risky things, you know, just kind of being like misunderstood. And it's like the way that you felt, I feel like was actually translated into your environment, what you did or didn't have. So you could have been like rich and felt like you didn't have enough. You could have been poor and, felt like that was where you were going to stay. And because that was the case, you were always, I don't know. I just feel like in the past life, you were very like protective over yourself and your energy. Because you had to be, though. So similar to another group, but I also feel like you could have had people, instead of like trying to help you, just assume that you were always going to be that way. You were always going to be mean or hurting other people because you were hurt or whatever. And I feel like in this lifetime, what you're actually meant to be is like really compassionate towards yourself and really compassionate towards other people. And I'm not saying your life is meant to be perfect. I feel like in this lifetime, you guys are actually put in like difficult situations that a lot of people wouldn't be able to survive. A lot of people wouldn't be able to overcome. And it's for you to see that you're really strong and like you're really worthy. Yeah, I feel like in this lifetime, you're actually meant to go through situations, no matter how difficult they are, to show you how worthy you are, and to show you that even if things are difficult or people are trying to take away your own power, that can never actually happen. Because I feel like what happened in a past life is that people tried to take away your power, and they did, but it didn't have to be something that you could see visually. What I mean by that is like, how like people can get like cheated on, or they can be like told like really negative things and like pretend like they're fine on the outside, but it actually kind of festers in them, even if they don't realize it, because they always have to like keep pushing, or because like maybe some people actually think that or tell them that that's the right way to be, but it's not. And I feel like in this lifetime, you're actually meant to be like more brave in situations where people are showing you opposition, or even when just like life is throwing you a bunch of like curveballs and shit. You're actually meant to see that there's no need for you to doubt yourself. Regardless, there's no need for you to have insecurities. There's no need for you to feel weak or to, even ever give people the power to make you feel so. I also feel like in this group, you're meant to be like a really loyal friend. So I don't know if it's like in a past life you didn't have like a lot of friends, or if you did, like you never really gave to them more than what they were willing to give you. Like I feel like in a past life, I'm not even gonna lie, you could have been like a little stingy, but I feel like it's because you were afraid of like letting people like truly in. So it could have even been that you've seen like things that you couldn't really get out of your mind, or you've seen other people in a past life like be treated really poorly. And so to not be in that situation, it's like you would do things that were really like self-protective, or you would do things that were even like deemed as like selfish, but it was to make sure that you were okay. So I feel like in this lifetime, what you're meant to kind of like go through is situations that might have been similar to what you went through in a past life, but you're actually meant to like respond differently. You're actually meant to like put yourself first, and show yourself a lot of compassion when you're in a difficult situation, and be able to do that to other people too. So like some people, like let's say, I don't know, I'm like seeing a situation where you would have handled it differently than another person. Like let's say you're going through a tough time, right? And someone actually comes and gives you a hand. That is actually meant to like teach you a lesson to be like a better person. And then once you become like that better person in this lifetime, once you become that like loyal friend, once you become that partner that like people can actually like trust and like depend on or whatever, I feel like that's when you get this ability to just kind of relax. Because I do feel like in this group, like some of you guys, I don't know if it's like you're like born up in the hood, or you had like neglectful or like abusive like parents or like partners or something like that. You could in this group, you could actually like experience like really tough situations in this life. And while not everybody is going to understand you or like help you, and maybe some people may have like intentionally harmed you, I feel like it's like you're supposed to have situations where maybe like one person or two people actually see what you're going through and actually lend you a hand, and you appreciate that fully for what it is, and then you then become a person that helps people in the same way. You then become a person that kind of like exudes that sort of energy too. Like I feel like you go through this like process in this lifetime where even if you weren't the same person that you are today, that's okay. And that can be just as inspiring as somebody that was like a good person their whole life. Because it's really easy to be hurt and like stay hurt. What's not easy is like healing and seeing that there actually are benefits to being like a good person, even if it's hard to see. I hope I'm making sense when I say this, but it just almost feels like you are kind of put in similar situations that you were in a past life, but this time around, what it's actually meant to show you is how strong you are, and how you can get through anything, and that sometimes you really do need people. Sometimes it is people that help you through difficult situations, and you could be that person to help other people too. You're meant to be somebody that, like, some of you guys, I don't know if it's that you're meant to be like a speaker, or you're meant to like spread a message, if that makes sense. I feel like you're meant to get your confidence from being like a good person to other people, being a good friend, being someone that is like trying to understand other people. You're meant to be someone who is extremely smart and like intellectual, and to think like an intellectual as well. So instead of like going through a difficult situation and being like, woe is me, or just feeling like life is like shit, you're actually meant to find like deep lessons through that and then like share those lessons with other people. I feel like in this lifetime, you're actually meant to have like a lot of faith. And I also feel like when it comes to love, though, too, you're actually meant in this lifetime, because you didn't in a past lifetime, to love even if it's difficult, to follow your heart even if other people make you feel or tell you that you're like weak, or even if like for some reason your gut tells you that that's not the right thing to do. It's just, like, you're meant to not listen to that part of you that almost like doesn't want you to get on other people's level. You're actually meant to do the opposite. You're actually meant to be like more sensitive in this lifetime. You're meant to be a bit more chivalrous, a little bit more romantic, a little bit more sensitive and like helpful and kind to other people. That's who you're meant to be. You're meant to be strong and to know that there is strength in being like a good person and being kind. Because in a past life, it's almost like you never allowed yourself to be that because of your situations. You're meant to have relationships that aren't easy as well. I'm not saying you're meant to be like cheated on and like talk to like shit or whatever, but you're meant to have like relationships that actually do have difficulties, but so you realize just how valuable those people are. Like, and I also feel like you're meant to be loved too, but you kind of have to be the one to make the first step. You know, like some people, they want love, but they don't want to put themselves out there. They want someone to approach them. They want to ask them. They want someone to ask them out. They want someone to spoil them. You're actually meant to spoil and treat other people kindly in this lifetime. Mm-hmm. And then once you do that, I feel like it's like a weight lifted off your shoulder. I feel like in this lifetime, you're really meant to see that there is strength in being a good and like kind person, especially if you're a masculine here. Because I feel like masculines a lot of the time are like meant or brought up to like feel like there's a weakness in that. But you're meant to like be able to follow your emotions and follow your heart and actually like speak to people and let them know that that is okay too. I feel like you're meant to make other people be more loving by leading by example. Yeah, you're meant to like lead by example in this group. And you're also meant to tell your story as well. So let's say in the past you weren't the best person. Let's say in the past you did make mistakes, or you did steal, or you did do this or whatever. You're meant to tell people and show people that you don't have to stay like that. You actually can get help, or you actually can, see the best in yourself and give yourself that compassion and that focus to like heal and like be a better person, and it spread that to other people, even if it's difficult, even if sometimes it's hard to see the potential or the reward in that. How you may affect people negatively, though, I don't know. I don't even think this is you. I think this is just people in your midst that are very selfish. Very selfish. It's almost like, I don't know if in this lifetime you have people that felt like entitled to your time, entitled to your love and your care or whatever, and they were hurt themselves, they were greedy themselves. It's like, I feel like in this lifetime you actually meet people that, like, they could be really shitty people, and it's kind of like how you were in a past life, for real. So you're kind of meant to have people show up as like a mirror for you. I know how that sounds, because I'm not saying you deserve it. I'm not saying you deserve it. I'm saying that there is a lesson behind it, if that makes sense. I almost feel like you are meant to see people that may have acted like how you did in a past life. So I don't know if in a past life like you were like an addict, or like you stole, or what, but I feel like you did those things to survive. And so then you meet people in this lifetime that do those things to survive too, but then you actually like take them in or take them under your wing or teach them that there's a different way. So how you positively impact people is that you show them like what true courage is, and like what it is truly to be a good person, or to come from like a difficult background or something like that, but still be bright, still grow and heal. You meant to travel as well. You meant to travel, see the world, spread your thoughts and your mind to other people too. Your ideas. So you could be like a public speaker. You could even like go into like politics or something like that. I could definitely see that. Or you could be like someone that works in like reform or whatever. Yeah. You could work for like the government or whatever. I could see a lot for this. You could be like a contractor or something like that. I just see like what you're meant to do in this lifetime. You're meant to have like a big impact with your career, and with your voice. Yeah, so if that resonated, give it a like and come back for another one on my channel. I love you. My name is Jay, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.